Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Joe from the Moral Truth. We are back again, right at it, bringing you some good stuff. Kobe, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. What's up?
Nothing much, man. How you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm doing all right. Just hanging in there, man.
Man, that's all you can do is hang in there. And you know, that's the biggest thing is hanging in there. Um, so we gotta hit this topic because I had somebody bring this up to me, man, last week, and it's one of them things. I think we all do it, and then it's where you find your boundary at. And the guy was came to me and said, "Hey, you know, I'm using alcohol for all the wrong reasons." And I said, "Okay." He's using it, for depression. He's drinking every day. So how do we, work on us without the alcohol? But yes, because there's no problem having drinks, on the weekend, hanging back with a friend. But we're talking about the alcohol use that you're using it to escape something. And that's a lot of people. We have people out there who are using that alcohol to escape different things, whether it could be, uh, family turmoil, mental aspects, life, depression, etc. And that's like everyday drinking. And I mean, this guy said he was drinking like a whole bottle, of liquor or beer or anything, just to make the pain go away. And he was like, he's like, "Joe, how do I, you know, stop that?" And Kobe, like you tell everybody, you say on simple things, man, you got to find a hobby. You got to do this. And he's like, "Well, I go to the gym. I try to do this." And that is a good question in this day and age because we have a lot of people who use alcohol as a out. And you can have a million answers for it. And everybody comes from different walks of life. But Kobe, how do you think you combat that of using that alcohol as a feel good suppressor for the things you got going on in your life?
I don't think there's a really easy, like one track answer on that because everybody is different. I know, in my experience, at least for me, my family growing up, they are all alcoholics. They had issues, you know what I mean. So like, I was always actually scared, I guess, or like worried about becoming like them or whatever. So I was always very very cautious whenever I did drink or made sure that I never made it become something that I like to do or that I crave or that I fiend for. But what you just described sounds like someone who's an alcoholic, a functioning alcoholic. And the only thing you can do from there is, you pretty much already said it, but try to find another avenue to replace that need or that want. But there is different levels though, man. So I don't. It kind of just depends on how that person is, as far as how much they're drinking and what they're drinking. I did talk to somebody who's an alcoholic recently that didn't even know, and they were telling me that like they crave it and like they think about it all the time, and like if they ever see a drink and they know they only have a limited amount of those drinks, and they'll see how fast they can pound it to get that feeling, that high. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's almost like a high, I guess. But I don't know. I wouldn't know how you would combat that besides maybe some counseling.
Well,
You know
and
what I
that
mean?
and that's the crazy part, right? Because a lot of people do go to counseling, and I've been to counseling, and sometimes counseling is not for everyone because does a counselor really relate to you and your aspect of what you're saying? And a lot of people feel like that's the problem. Like their counselor does not relate to their situation. They're just getting paid to, shake their head, give some valuable advice, and send you on your way in the next hour. You know what I'm saying? So I think
Yeah.
it's really comes down to the point because I feel like if somebody is approaching you with that situation, one, I think they think highly of you because they feel comfortable enough to let them know like, hey, I have a problem and I need help. And I think the resourcing is the best part is that you are that resource. They're looking for you for guidance to help them through that evolution. And not all of us can be, that spiritual guider to help them. And some of us might get lost in that helping phase. Um, but I think that it comes deep down to understand that person first, because like you said, we all come from different walks of life. We have to understand what is going on, what are the triggers to that person, the mentals that are making them get to this state. Because if not, then I think we'll be missing the aspect in trying to help them because they could revert. And I don't know with your person when you talked to him, Cove. I mean, did he hit you with his X, Y, and Z's about why he's drinking, or did you have to resource that out?
Well, the person that I was talking about, he happened to be like in a higher echelon than I, so I didn't really like try to get too personal with him or anything. I just kind of was like trying to be the person to be a shoulder to lean on, if you would, and let him kind of talk to me or whatever. And later on, this person ended up going. He's going to the hospital to get help or whatever. So he's getting help. You know what I mean? In the way that he needs it. He said that he's been to it before and it helps him out a lot. And they pretty much just kind of talk to him and make sure he stays clean, and he goes from there. But I have someone else though that has been in a similar situation where he's gotten help and he's came back and he's rebounded, and he just does it time and time again. And I never comprehend it because, to me, when I see these people, I don't know about you, Joe, if you've ever seen this person that's confided in you, it like destroys their life. Like they're late to work, or like, they stink or something, or they're just, it just breaks them all down. So I don't understand how, if they consciously know that that is destroying them, almost like a poison or a cancer, why they wouldn't stop, I guess.
And because they really don't know, right? They don't know when to stop. And I think that the person I was dealing with was more like they had some, drama when they were a kid, frustrations, and when you grow up with turmoil and issues, and when you get older, it's kind of hard to deal with because nobody really understands, right? Everybody's like, hey man, it's gonna be okay. Just think of the do X, Y, and Z, and be positive. Oh, hey, by the way, stop drinking every day. Easier said than done, because if I was using that as a crutch every day, it's gonna be hard for me to get out of there. But what I think they're looking for is they're looking for some type of direction, a checkup on. Because I say, hey man, if you need something, let me know. But I'm gonna hit you up in the evening time or throughout the day or the night. Like, hey dog, like I hit him up. I was like, hey dog, how you doing, bro? Like, what's good? Like, you good? He was like, hey man, I honestly thought about drinking this thing before you even hit me up. No lie. And I was like, nah, bro. Like, put that shit down. Like, come to the house. Let's chill. Or take a ride out, dog. Try to get your mind off of it. And I think it's more deep down is that person had to fix the issues within, right? And they got to take them out. And I dealt with this time. I think it's hard for some of these people to actually say, hey, I'm an alcoholic, right? Like, we're not talking about my weekenders, but the ones who are like sneakily like drinking a whole fifth a bottle every night to just feel good, to knock out and go to bed. Like, it's hard for them to realize they have a problem. And I dealt with it before, and I had to sit down to, someone like, hey man, I'm going to get you help. And they were pissed off. They're like, no, you don't know me. I'm not an alcoholic. He's like, I have no problems. And I'm like, look, man, you do. And like, I don't care how mad you are at me, but I'm doing this for you because I want to see you get better. And he hated me for that whole time. He hated me. I sent him to go get help.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing that I was going to say is like, all it takes is like a small act of kindness, and 9 times out of 10 people that have this issue or that suffer from alcoholism or an alcoholic or however, they might not realize it. So yeah, the first step is to let them know, hey, that there is a problem, that you see a problem, that you want them to get better, that you're not trying to make fun of them, you're not trying to do nothing, you're just trying to help them. And once they realize, because sometimes they're really stubborn and they don't realize it first, but once they realize all you were trying to do is help them, because like I said, 9 times out of 10, these people are people that are neglected in some way or some form. So either like parents weren't around, really bad childhood, something really bad happened, like there was some kind of emotion or feeling or something is going on where they're being neglected, where they feel they are, happiness or whatever the case. And I'm not a psychologist by any mean or anything like that, but
we know
that's where it usually stems from. So if you can help and just show that you care, and like you said, text, follow up, don't just be like, yeah, man, don't do that, and then never follow up or never help, because they're just going to resort right back to it. But if you stay on it and you're with them with it and you help them, what is it, AA, I think it is, the AA meetings that they go to or alcoholics can go to, there's a sponsor, I think it's called, where you have someone that goes with you. You know what I'm saying? That's why they do that.
What are those AA meetings? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
What's up?
that's the I think you're referring to the A meetings,
Yeah, I think
right?
it's Alcoholics Anonymous, right? I believe.
Yeah, alcohol anonymous. But you got to realize too, a lot of people really don't like going to that. The ones who have problems, right? Because usually the ones who make it to alcohol anonymous had a really bad situation happen, like i.e. DUI, got in some like real big accident, or they got directed to go there. It
Well,
takes
yeah,
it takes
they
a
usually
lot
hit
for the
rock
individual.
bottom.
Yeah, they hit rock bottom, or to a point where it costs them something costly, close to life threatening, that gets them to AA. Now we're talking about the random guys. Those random guys are not going to appear in AA. I'm sorry, because they don't see it. They don't like, nah, it's not for me. No, and it's more of a pride thing too, because it takes a lot to go in there to say, hey, I have a problem, because like we talked about today in society, when you mention like you have a problem, everybody looks at you cross-eyed and is like, okay, what's wrong with him? Is he crazy? Is he gonna come in here and shoot at the place? Like, nobody really cares to dive deep into that, because they feel like, well, if I dive deep into it, then I'm gonna be liable for anything that happens because I didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they leave that person behind. But like you said, yeah, those guys who have those problems are not going to AA. But they're looking for somebody to reach out to. And I really believe that if they reach out to you, it is for a reason, because they're seeking that they can trust you. One, they have confidence in you. They know that you're not going to air out their laundry, and it's somebody they can revert to at least to talk to. And I think that's a big caveat in your life. You got people coming to you like that. That's a big caveat, because they see you as a higher person who can help them, right? And a lot of people kind of steer away from that help. They're like, oh, nah, not for me. Or I can't, I can't tell Kobe because Kobe got a big ass mouth. He's gonna go run and tell somebody else, and somebody else is gonna talk shit, and then it's gonna piss me off, and then and that's what pretty much goes through their head, straight up. That's real talk, Kobe. I mean, that goes through their head, dog.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I mean, it's just that scenario, and it's just that, like I said again, it's just these people are out there, and they're looking for somebody to help them direct their life in a different manner. Whether it's through text, speech, whatever, they're looking for it. But it is not our weekend warriors. Just like the other day, you called me. You went on the boat, had a couple drinks. You're like, "Ooh, I'm chilling." We're not talking about them dudes. We're talking about the guys who are like literally wrapped up in their room, their houses, sitting there, drinking, so that way they can make the pain go away. Those are the ones who have the issue. Those are the ones that we gotta look out for. Because you saying in your place of work, that's a big thing in the place of work, because nobody wants to bring that to a place of work, because guess what? If it comes out and it gets out, what are they gonna think? They're gonna think you're an incompetent worker. You cannot get the job done. You got a problem. You're a risk. I can't do anything, and now you're frowned upon. Straight up. You know how it is, Kobe.
Oh yeah,
You're
definitely.
blackballed, bro.
I mean, yeah, oh yeah, tenfold. If you're alcoholic or you're like a drunk or whatever, yeah, it'll take you out of your workplace or take you off your game.
You are blackballed. You are done. Nobody was going to actually sit down and be like, hey, he's a hard worker. I never knew. No, they're going to be like, oh, he's a liability. He's going to cost us X, Y, and Z. And they're not going to go to the problem. And this is why people don't bring it up. And you don't know until you look at the Channel 5 news and you're like, oh shit, that's so-and-so. That dude, got in a car accident. He was drunk. He passed away. I never knew. Oh man. You know what I'm saying? And that's where us as kind-hearted people who are going to help people, we got to take that and run with it.
Well, we got to help each other out. We got to open our eyes and pay attention, because it's all around us, man. There's people that I didn't even know that, like I just told you, like the gentleman that came to me and was telling me about craving it, and that I hung out with this person, and we were doing something where there was a couple drinks or whatever, and I didn't want to drink because I'm not a big drinker, but the other people that were with us, they wanted to drink, and he said that at that time when he saw them drinking, he wanted to drink so bad, and it was so hard for him not to. and that he counted how many drinks were with us at that time. We were fishing, and he was saying that he knew the drinks were limited. So right there in his head, he knew he had to pound like 3 of them in order to feel something, and that's all that was going through his head. And I couldn't believe that that's how they were thinking about it. I just had no idea that was going on in his head the whole time.
Oh, exactly. You and the thing is, you would never know what actually goes on in their head because they are reluctant to let you know unless they know that they can trust you. And that's the biggest
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the workplace, they're not gonna air out their laundry where it's gonna affect them drastically. Like, no, it's not gonna happen. You know.
Well, that's why it's important to be an effective and a good leader, though. That we talked about this in the previous podcast, but I will say I just had an interview at my workplace for a higher position um, for something I was doing, and the gentleman told me it's just really important, and I just thought it was funny because it's kind of what I live by. But he was just saying that be close enough to the people underneath you that I mean, you can tell them when they're wrong and be professional, in a manner that you still have control of the situation, and you can tell them when they're wrong and when they're not, but be close enough that they won't be scared to tell you when they've done something wrong, and they'll still confide in you. That's
Very
the
true.
balance you have to perfect as a leader.
Very true. Very true. And with that balance, those people who have those issues will be able to come to you if they choose, because not everybody's going to come to you, and then you can help them out in that
Yeah, you have
instance.
to be approachable.
Yeah, that's it. But shit, man. I mean, this is a very good topic because it's funny that we have ran into people like this and have dealt with this situation, and it just it kind of sparked up the thing today because I was just talking to the guy like 2 weeks ago, and then we've been talking all this time, and it's one of the things where you're like, all right, man, like, hey, I'm here to help you, like, what you need, and I had never been in that predicament before because we all have our own issues, whether it's if it's drinking or we go through depression or anxiety, and sometimes you just don't know who you can actually run to or who you can trust to keep your feelings. And these people, same with any other people with mental issues, um, they're still trying to get right too. And I think we gotta identify that because the last thing I want on my conscience is knowing that somebody who was with me or worked with me or a friend of mine, and I didn't do my due diligence to help him, and something went wrong. That'll be on my conscience, bro. You know what I'm saying? That'll be on my conscience,
Oh yeah.
and I don't want that on my conscience. So if I'm approached with it, I'm gonna do the best of my abilities to direct that person in the right manner. I mean, that's all I can do for me.
Yeah. No, I would feel the same way.
Yeah, man. So definitely, man. One of the good things. Hey, alcohol is always fun to do. It's always good to drink. You have your fun days, but hey, be careful. It could take over. It could take over your life. Don't let it get there. And I definitely like my drinks. I like to get on my weekend. My drink is vodka. I like to drink some of that. Kobe likes to drink Shirley Temples. That's his thing. Um, so everybody has a drink. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, hey, if you're addressed with these situations, these issues, there's always somebody, a place, an institution that's out there that can help that person get in the right direction. Just don't neglect it. Find them, guide them to that institution, guide them to where they need to be. And sometimes you do have to hold their hand a step of the way. It's going to take time away from you, but at the end of the day, you can get repaid that time for helping somebody else out. Because when you help somebody else out, it always comes back to you in the most best way. You know what I'm saying, Kobe?
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely does. Hey, y'all, I appreciate you guys for listening out. Stay tuned. We have some more topics coming out to bless you guys with. Stay humble out there. Be good. Kobe, what you got, man?
Hey, I would just say that everything in life, relationships, food, the gym, everything, it's good in moderation, okay? Alcohol, no addiction is really a good addiction. Just everything is good in moderation, right? And if any of y'all got someone out there who's coming to you, maybe has some issues or whatever, hit us up. Let us know if there's some stuff we can maybe help you out with. Hit us up.
Yes, sir. Hey, once again, reach out to us. The Moral Truth, Joe and Kobe at Gmail, TikTok, YouTube. Y'all be good out there.